Everyone. Okay, so it's nice to see you all. I'm so sad that I'm not explaining you what I will show you now in real. On Cameroon in South Africa, you don't have yet energy box, but maybe in the future we'll have to deal with it. So one of the main issues we have on any project is a remote monitoring system that sometimes it doesn't work and we don't know why. The good thing with the energy box is that because we developed it in-house, we can understand what's the issue, and according of what we see, we can solve it. Okay. The disadvantage is it had you more responsibility, meaning now you have tools to check what is the issue on the energy box monitoring. So now I will show you what are the tools and how you can use it. Okay. Good. Okay. So yes, this representation is mainly for the energy box monitoring unit. Okay, so I will show you what are the tools required. And then there is a small, relatively small part about the software installation and configuration. And then we will go software by software, how we use it and what is the purpose of each one. And what are the common cases, what are the common issues that we have, okay? So these are the 4 tools that you need to have with you every time you visit a project within an energy, where there is an energy box installed. So you have your laptop charged. Very important to have the laptop that you use to install the software we will do together. USB to micro USB cable, that's the one we see on the picture. So you can ask me if you are not sure of the cable that you have, but basically that's the old cable that Samsung used on the previous version of their smartphone. Booster antenna if it's available. So on the next slide, I will talk about the booster antenna. And a local SIM card, it's always good to have with you. In any case, we don't have any luck with the signal, because even if with a booster antenna it doesn't work, it's always good to try with a local SIM card. And if it works, we can let it on site. So about the tools. So first, yes, the laptop must be charged. That's very important because as you know, you don't have a way to charge it on site. So currently we have 2 recommended booster antenna, which are Auto GSM 28 and only 121. And it's a process like we are beginning the research about a booster antenna, meaning ideally you order it locally and you tell us before which one it's available on your country, we check. And also for us, we can test it here in Israel, and we can maybe tell to other countries, okay, this one is working better, or this one maybe put it aside. So you are welcome to suggest booster antenna. About the local SIM cards that I talked previously, so the monitoring system in general, even for water monitoring, does not consume a lot per month. So we need at least 5 megabytes per month. But so I think the basic package on every country, I think it's 100 megabytes. So just make sure if it's possible to reload the data automatically or at least remotely. Okay, so now we have a part of software installation. I will not go through it now. I just prepare the presentation for you to have a reference, or if any new people, or in the future, if we need to install the software on a laptop. Here I describe all the procedure you need to do to install all the software. Okay. Also, most of you already have the software installed on their laptop, because you had to deal already with the issue I will describe. So that's why I will skip this part. So here you see I describe step by step. Okay, click here, click next, click install, download here, do that. It takes approximately to install everything about 30 minutes to 1 hour, according how fast you are going. But I wanted here to detail each step that you feel comfortable to install the software. So I will jump to the next section. Okay, once everything is installed, there is a part of the software configuration. Again, the one who has already the software installed, I did it with you already. So that's once everything is installed, you have to configure each software. So at the end, you should end with a folder with 5 files, the ones that you see here, one named Developer Studio. One is the second one here, you see FX30. On some of you, it can be route at 192.168.2.2. Dot is can be written as WinSCP. Another file here like this with FX30 in capital. Another file named Putty, and another file starting with FX30 in lower cases. Okay. So once you finish the installation, you have a folder on your desktop. The folder I named it previously Solar. So here I name it monitoring system to be more accurate for the tools. So you have 5 folders, so 5 files, and now we will go one by one to see what are the purpose and how we use it. Okay. Okay. So how we check the monitoring system. So first, once you have an energy box, you should see, so according to the version, you should see a gray modem like the one on the picture. And on the new version, the modem is on the bottom left of the energy box. You see, it should have a QR code now, or at least a number written like EB12 or EB10. Okay. And the first thing you need to check is how the unit is connected. So first, if it's powered. If it's powered, the LED will tell you if the modem succeeds to register to a local network. It doesn't mean that it succeeds to send data, but it means it succeeds to connect to a local network. It means at least we should be able to send SMS to the unit and to maybe to also receive data. If it's not sending data, maybe it's not about the connection on the local network. Okay, so if it's red, it's not connected. If it's we call amber, yellow, maybe green sometime, it means it's attached to a cellular network. The second thing you need to check is the connections on the modem itself. So you should have 3 cables that goes from the units. The first one is here on the left. You see it's antenna. The second one is a power cable, and the third one is a connection cable to the MPPT. Okay, so each one of them are important. The first one is, of course, to get network with an antenna. The second one is to get power, and the third one is at the end the modem reads value from the MPPT. So if it's not connected correctly to the MPPT, we cannot see any data. Okay. One common issue that we have, you see on the side of the MPPT, the cable, how it's connected. It's very sensitive, so it's very easy while you are touching or rewiring something inside the energy box that it can be released. So make sure it's well inserted. Like this, you will avoid any issue about connection. Okay. If you want to check the status of a monitoring unit on your side, you can do it from the phone application. So you see, you go on project management inside check monitoring unit, and also unit is installed at an existing project. So you can look for a specific project inside the list, or it's a new installation. So you can check inside the not installed terminal. And here you will have a list of all the non-installed terminals that we have inside our database. And the list will be per QR code, meaning here you see on the example, I have a list of type of monitoring units. I have energy box, I have water monitoring, and above I have the QR ID that is written on the unit. Okay. If I click on one, that's what I will see. So here, that's an example of a project in Zambia. So here I will see when was the last reading of a unit, okay? So for example, if I wanted to check the status of this health center in Zambia, and I'm checking today, I should expect to see insertion inside our database today, meaning we are today's January 17, and here I see the last insertion was December 17, so like 1 month ago. So if that's the case, I can understand what that the unit didn't send data for a month, okay? And here on the right side, you see what are the last readings of the units, okay? So energy production is in watt hour, and battery voltage, for example, it's not in volt, it's in millivolts. So for example, here it was 20 volt, here it's 24 volt, 24 volt, 25 volts, okay? It can maybe sometimes help you to see what was the last reading of the unit. For example, here I see when the last connection of the unit, the voltage was 20 volt, a bit more than 20 volt. It means the battery was probably empty. So it means when it stopped, it's because energy got disconnected. It didn't have enough power to power anymore the modem. So it helps you to understand what probably is the reason, okay? It doesn't tell you what is the reason, but maybe help you to understand. Now, if you are a project that we know we have an issue, you will need to try some tricks that I will explain you now by connecting your laptop into the unit. So first, so what I describe you here in picture, I will try to show you also here in the webcam to do it a demonstration in live. So first, you remove the modem from his bracket. So you can use a screwdriver, you put a pressure on the bracket on the top of it, and it should remove pretty easily. Then you connect the micro USB cable to the unit and the other side of the cable to your laptop. Now, the first step you need to do, so this step, I tell to do it in every project because we never know, but usually when you do it one time on the first connection, it applies for all the connection. But here you go on the Windows settings, you click on network and internet. And on the cellular tab, you make sure that let Windows manage these connections is unchecked. It's very important because if it's checked, it means the computer will use internet through the modem. So the modem will not be able to handle data from your laptop and also from his own purpose. So that's why I always say to check, make sure this before starting to deal with any software that this is unchecked. I will start with the most common software that you will use in the future. His name is Putty. So when I say open Putty, that's here. I always show you the icon like this. It's easy for you to also to identify. So Putty allows us to connect directly from your laptop to the unit and to type command on it. So it's not the modem. You can think of it as a computer, but without any interface, meaning you don't have a window, you don't have a folder, but you don't have a way to see it properly, but it exists inside the system. So the only way to access it will be by writing some command line, okay? So how to open Putty? So you double click on it, and then you should see inside your list one item, FX30, or on some of your software, I name it Solar, but it has the same configuration. You click again, you double click on FX30. You may have an alert if it's the first time you connect to the unit. If you have an alert, don't worry, you just click yes. And this is what you will see. A black window that's asking you, I don't know if you see, it's asking you, you're logging as root to the current unit, and you need, please give me the password. Now the password is all the time the same for all our units, and we will keep the same for future units. So it should be easy for you to remember. It's Ulysses 14, you see, it's very important, the capital letter at the beginning of the word. And also something that can be confusing, when you type your password, you will not see anything, you will not see that anything happened, meaning you will type your first letter, nothing will appear on your screen. It's totally normal. It's just the way it handles password. It doesn't display you anything, okay? So once you enter the password and you press enter, you will be logged in inside. You will see again the same black window, and you will be able to type some command. Here it's a list of the basic commands that you will use most of the time. So again, how you know which command to run, I will tell you according of the status, but here it's also for you to understand what we are doing, and also maybe one time you can also come to me with already the result of all these commands. So here is, you have 5 commands that usually I ask you to run. So first is a legato version. It gives you the version of the firmware, and it should start by 18.06.5. I will give example again on the next slide. CM info, it gave us general information about the unit, his ID, for example. CM data, it tells us if the unit is connected to a network. And CM radio, it tells us the signal strength, what is the signal strength that the unit received. And app status shows us all the application installed on the unit. Okay. So here it's the example how it will look. Okay, so for the first, you see on the first line here, what I typed is legato version, and it should start again with 18.06.5. Okay. CM info, you see it gave us, for example, the IMEI. For me, it's the ID, the real ID of the unit. Okay, so in case there is a doubt. CM data, you see it tells us which APN it uses, if it's connected or not. And CM radio, the last command, here it tells us the signal strength. So here, if, for example, it was a strong signal, which operator is using, and if it's register. So here you see we can, only from this screen, you send me this, I can already know what is the, probably know what is the issue. If it's a problem of connection, or if everything here is look okay, we need to look maybe something on the application, we need to reboot, or maybe to reinstall something. That was about data connection. Okay. Here, the last command I talked to you is the app status. So here is to see if our applications that we coded and installed here are still when installed. We realize that sometimes because of short-circuited inside the energy box, it removes the software installed inside the modem, and that's why sometimes you need to reinstall it. And we thought we found a way to solve it by adding something, but for now it may still happen in the future. So, and how you check if everything is installed, you should have at least 2 applications installed. One is main, the first one circled, and the second one is watchdog apps. If these 2 applications are running, it means our software is installed. The second list of commands that I want to show you is what we call AT command. Okay, so you can type AT command. So here, AT command will give us access to even more details. So the most common case that we will use AT command is when we want to change the carrier of the unit. Okay, before we needed to call our network operator for the water monitoring unit, for example. And we say, they see how they see my screen? They see. Oh, okay. Before we need, so I was saying before we were needed to call our cellular provider to say, okay, we need to switch our carrier to not use NTM, for example, but to use Tigo or NTM. And it took some days, sometimes, and then we need to reboot. Here we found a solution how to do it on site on the unit, but it's can look complex, but it's very straightforward once you know it. You do run this command and then this command. So first you run the first command, microcom, that this command, -e dev tty80. And then once you press enter, you will be able to run what we call AT command. So the first one you do use is AT to test if you succeed to enter to this session. It should answer you AT. It should, sorry, answer you OK. And then you have AT plus cops equal question mark. It shows you what are the current available, what are the available networks that the unit can detect. You can also display the current carrier by AT plus cops question marks. And if you want to change the carrier, so here that's the command, AT plus cops equal 1psych2, comma, and here is the ID of the carrier you noted on the second command. So when you list all the available networks, it will give you an ID per carrier, and you will need to note it, and the one you want to use, you use it here on the last command. So here it's an example of how we use AT command. So here I ran the first command, microcom space. Spaces are very important, -e spaces /dev tty80. Okay, I ran the first command AT and it gave me OK. It means I succeed to enter to the AT command mode. Here I check what is my current carrier. Okay, so here it was telephone SA. Okay, and here's and then it always ends by OK. Then here I wanted to list all the available carrier that the unit can detect. So here it detects, for example, automobile, partner IL, Cellcom, and again partner IL. Okay, so here I wanted to, for example, I wanted to change to automobile. Okay, currently it's on telephone. It's not even listed, so I had an issue. I wanted to change to automobile. So here is his ID, 42507. So here is I type IT plus cops 1,2 and in code 42507. Okay, it can take 1 minute and then it will tell you OK. Okay, and then after this you succeed to change the carrier. This was the most important software that I want you to know. I will give you an example here. Before I will give you a live example here also. I will let you time to also to have question between. What I will show you now is software that it's important for you to have. You will not use it, I think, on the day-to-day visit, but it's important. On some cases, you may need to use it because we had a specific issue on a certain modem. So that's why I want to show you. So the second software I want to show you is WinSCP. WinSCP allows us to send file from your laptop to the modem. Okay. So inside the folder, you should have a FX30 file, or again, on some of you is named at route at 192.168.2.2. That's why I changed the name. It's not, it's more clear. Again, if you have an alert, you just click on add here at the bottom. And this is what you will see. Okay. On the left side, you will have the list of your folders that exist on your laptop. And on the right side, it's what there is currently on the modem. Okay. If you come to a brand new modem, okay, you should see nothing. That's what we see here. You see it's basically nothing on the modem. Okay. And here is, for example, what there is on my laptop. Okay. So usually you want to take a file that I tell you to take a file from your laptop and to move it inside the modem. Okay. So you need to go inside your desktop where I ask you to put all the files I show you at the beginning of the presentation. So here it's named Solar, but now it should be named Monitoring System according of when you install the software. And here you see you have the files that you have inside your system. You need to, no, it's okay. You need to take with your mouse the file you want to copy and to drag it and to drop it on the right section of the screen, okay? So you take it, you click, and then you drag it. And then once you finished, it should be appear here. If you have a small alert, okay, you can click again on OK. You will have a process that appears. And once it's finished, it's succeed, okay? So here I said most of the time we want to drag the FX30S system that end with update this file here. Okay, that's the only case, okay, we have currently. The last software I want you maybe to know is Developer Studio, okay? Developer Studio is something that allows us to have actually an interface, to have something that have icons and everything as we know, and to see what there is on the modem and to show us as icon and has something more friendly. Okay, that's why maybe I want you to know it. Maybe it's easier for you to use it, but we have less option. So you click on Developer Studio, and then to connect the software to the modem, you need to click here on the connect icon at the top of the screen. You will be asked to insert the password. So again, it's the same password everywhere. So it's Ulysses 14. Again, case sensitive, very important. You press OK. And this is what you will see, okay? So here you have many options that are divided per side of the screen. So here, the first thing I want you to pay attention is not to you to understand, but for you to know where it is here on the logs on the bottom of your screen. Here on the screen, here you see what is happening on the real time on the modem, okay? So for example, if the unit tries to connect, here you will see something like unit tries to connect to the following server. Or if the unit tries to read the MPPT, it will tell here in the coding language, if I can say, it will say to you, I'm reading the MPPT readings, okay? You don't have to understand, but sometimes for when I don't know what is happening, what is written here is crucial, meaning it will, if probably something, we will have an error that is described here, and from the error, I can check what does it mean and how we can solve it. Here, what I described again, it was for a previous version of the energy box, but it can still be relevant in the future. That's why I described it. Here, it's if we want to update the version of the unit inside. So here you have an icon like this. I don't know how to describe the square on the top of your screen. You click on Flash firmware from an external file. And here you go and select the file name fx30, but in capital this time, okay? Once you do it one time, it will remember and tell you maybe you want to use the last file that you used last time, okay? Okay, this is again not important, but it's important that it's written here on the presentation for future reference. We finished with the software, okay? The last thing is again about what's happening physically. We checked everything. The software looks okay. The last thing to check is maybe the antenna, as I told you, okay? So you can try to connect a new antenna, a booster antenna, okay? So you have a small hole at the top of the energy box where you can pass the cable of the new antenna. And then you need to connect the antenna to the cellular antenna connector on the modem. So here you see it's written cell. It's on the right side when you look at it in front of you. And very important, I always ask you to mount it as high as possible and also outside, very important, because that's where we get a better signal. And probably if I ask you if we need to install a booster antenna, it's probably because we have a lack of signal. So every interference that we can avoid are good to take. The last thing, we tried a booster antenna. We looked for the software, and it still does not succeed to send data. our last chance is to use local SIM cards. Here is a small slide to describe you how you replace a SIM card on the modem. So you use a screwdriver to remove the cover. I will show you again on live. Here it's how you insert the SIM card. So how to call it? The aluminum should be on top, the corner should be on the top right. You insert it, and then you should be here a small click. If you want to remove the SIM card, you press on it with a small pressure, and the SIM card should pop out automatically. Yes, automatically. And then the last step, reattach the cover once the SIM card is inserted. That's what about the presentation. Now I will let you 1 minute to it's a lot of information. Then if you have questions, and then I will do a live demonstration on the energy box here I have next to me. Okay, I see Robert had asked the question: if a local SIM card is installed, if we type 80 plus cops question mark, will other network appear on the Windows? Is possible so the modem by itself, even without a SIM card, will be able to detect all the networks available. So you will be able to see it on the list. But when you will ask to select, you have another command to select, to choose a carrier. And if you type it for another carrier that your SIM card does not support, you will probably have an error telling you not registered or not allowed or inaccessible to register. So technically, you will be able to see all available networks, but you are not able to connect to any networks. According to the SIM cards, you can select only. You need to know which SIM card you use and which SIM card can use which network. Are we to request our local offices to purchase this local SIM card? Yes. We always say now that you should have at least 5 to 10 SIM cards, local SIM cards with you, not only for the energy box, but also for the water monitoring. And if you can also to have several options of carrier, meaning if you can have some from Vodacom, some from NTM or Zamtel or whatever, like this. According of the area, sometimes you can try, okay, this local doesn't work, but maybe this one will work. Like it will give us more options. Is it possible to increase the cable length of the current booster antenna? I agree. So it's real problematic because we are about the booster antenna. We are at the beginning, I think, still, meaning we don't have yet a lot of options of booster antenna. And when the ones that we know are not working, we're a little bit in. We don't have any more options. So that's why I'm telling you, if you can find the ones that we recommended on your local country, I can send you also on WhatsApp, but it's written also here on the presentation. If you can find the booster antenna and ask yourself for a longer cable. Also on our side, when we will come on new booster antenna, we will try to have also a longer cable. The cable of the booster antenna also is not a regular cable because it's a bit more wide, it's a bit more strong. So if you can find it again locally, that will help us. Like, don't wait for us to send you. How can I get FX30 software to my PC? Okay, so the software installation, I skipped it because the one who needed the installation, the one who has to deal with the energy boxes, already have this software, so I didn't want to waste time. I wanted more because we had only 1 hour. I wanted more to you to understand how we use the software. On the presentation I showed you, and you will have access, you have each step how to install the software. Okay, it's so where to click, next, install, everything. If you need any assistance or even me guiding you, you can tell me, okay, I would like to install the software. So That's it. Yes, answer the question. Okay, we have an issue with local SIM card who has a password registered. Okay, it's a good question. So you have two cases. The first cases is where with the local SIM card also needs to configure an AP, what we call an APN. So here we have a command via SMS or even via the laptop by a command line again. You can change the APN. And if it's need a PIN, like when you insert a SIM card, you need a PIN code to start using the SIM card. So this is it's a command that I didn't show you, but that's the advantage of having your laptop connected to the modem. Such cases like this, we can connect the laptop, type the PIN code, and connect the laptop to the modem, going with inside Putty and type the PIN code. Okay, so I will, for this specific example, I can share what is the command. Once it will happen, I will share with you on WhatsApp. But we have a command to put this, the PIN code for a SIM card. The only thing we will try to see, I will try to find, I guess, when the unit restart or reboot, that's something that can happen if the battery got drained. I think you need to again reinsert the PIN code, and that can be problematic because you are not there anymore. So once you succeed to enter the PIN code, we will try also to remove the PIN code capability. Okay, like this, we avoid it also in the future. Okay, good. So now I will do a live example to see how it looks in live. Also, maybe to see, even for me, something that what I show you, it's in theory, but let's see how it goes in real life. Okay, so here I have an energy box. Okay, charge 85%, so we have time. Okay, and this is how it looks. So you know we have the battery, controller, inverter, and this is the modem that we have. I will take the camera. Okay. Here I can see already the LED is is yellow, so it means first the modem is powered and it's registered to a local network. But for the purpose of the example, I will go over all the process. Okay, so how I remove the modem from his bracket. So first you need, I think I didn't precise, you need a screwdriver, a strong screwdriver to apply a small pressure here on the top of the bracket. Here you see I apply small pressure. Okay. Okay. Hope it was clear. If it's not clear, please tell me. Sorry, I hide it. Now it's removed. Okay. While you're on site, you can leave it like this. The purpose of removing the unit from the bracket is for you to access easily here. Here, it's where you connect the USB cable. Okay. If once it was installed on the bracket, it's very hard for you to access it. Okay. So here I connect. Sorry. The micro USB cable here. Meir, can you help? Sorry. To hold the camera.
Yes, like this.
Yeah, and try to follow here. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Okay, so here I connect. Okay. The second part here, the USB cable are connected to my laptop. Okay.
Maybe to the separator or
Yeah. Okay, let me think how I will do. Okay, I will do like this. I see you cannot see anymore.
this one.
Okay.
Ah,
Okay, sorry. Okay, so here
Yeah.
I connected to my laptop. Sorry for the small issue. Okay.
okay. You want me
No,
to-
thank you. Okay. Something I forgot to show you is again, here's the connections. I have 3 cables. Here is the first one. Here is on the presentation. It was the third one here. The connection between the MPPT and the modem. So that's the side of the modem. And here on the side of the MPPT, you see the cable here. And you see it's very easy to move and it's relatively easy to be released. So it's something you need to pay attention. Okay. The antenna is connected and runs here. And the power cable, and it's working because the unit is powered. Share my screen. Okay. So here I have my folder, okay, with the 5 files I told you, and what I will show you is mainly Putty, okay. Okay, so here you will, for you will have one option. Sorry, for me I have many. Okay, again, if you have a security alert, I told you, you just press yes. Here it asks you your password. So I'm starting typing, you don't see anything. It's okay. It's the way it is when you type a password here. And now I am connected, okay? So now you are able to type all the commands I show you on the presentation. So the first one I told you is legato version, okay? Here it started by 18.06.5. I'm happy, okay? The second one I show you, sorry, is CM info. Okay, here, okay, it tells you IMEI, firmware version, main information for me. Okay, about the unit itself, we have CM data, okay, which LPN is used. Sometimes authentication type shows error, but that doesn't mean anything. So you can, how to say, don't look at it. You have a CM radio that shows us the signal strength. Okay, so here again it's 4. Let me put full screen. Okay, let's do again. Okay, strong signal. Okay, if I remove the antenna, and oops, I disconnected also the cable. I need to restart, okay? If it shows you the small message, you see that's a good example. You just need to restart Putty. Again. Okay. And I'm trying again CM radio. You see, it went from 4 to 2 because I removed the antenna. Okay, and again here we are inside the city. So and without antenna, it's luck we have actually 2. But when you are on the rural areas, that's why it's very important the connection with the antenna. Okay, let me see which commands I wanted to show you. Yes, we have then, so I always advise to put a full screen like this. You can see the total message. You have app status, okay? Here it shows you again the list of application, okay? As I told you, here you look and you look for main, okay? Main, it's here, so it's okay. Watchdog apps is here if it's okay, okay? If it's not here, you need to send me a message and it's a one more step, okay? But hopefully it's only here. The one more step is to do the WinSCP. I will actually do it like this. You have it. So it's this file. You open it. You see why it's not working. Try again. I will open it from here. Okay, yes, for me it was named differently. Yes, sorry. Okay, here again, if you have an alert, you can just click add. Okay, so here on the left side is my folder. Here on the right side, it's what I have on my modem. I want to take this file, usually fx30s in lower cases, to drag it. So here, and move it here. Now I released my mouse, a process appears. I'm waiting, and that's it. I finished. Okay. I can close. Yes, I'm sure. Okay. Now you'll be back to Putty. If you, again, what I show you, it's if you don't see the main or watchdog, here it's what you need to do. It's update with the name of the file we just uploaded. Okay. You will have, again, here a small process. You check now if the application are installed. Yes, they are. Once only they are installed, you do the last command, update my newsg. Again, don't worry, it's just to show you an example. I will lead you step by step while you are on site, okay? Good. Now we finished. We saw we have good network. We saw we have the application are installed. The last thing you can do is to text me, hey, Jeremy, I finished the installation. But also you can check on your side. Is it working, yes or no? How you check? You open the phone application. So I will open my phone application. I will share my screen. Someone needs to allow me a second. Okay, I will share my screen. Okay. So I open the Innovation Africa application. Under project management, check monitoring unit. Okay, so this unit is not yet installed, so it's inside not installed terminal. And here we have the list again, as I told you, with all the non-installed unit with a QRID. So some are Malawi Water 10 with the old version, but now it should be with QRID. The one written here is 055. So I'm looking for 055 inside the list. Here it is. And now it gets the last reading for the unit. Okay. In Israel now it's 12:22. I see the last connection is 12:20, so 2 minutes ago. I see readings. I see energy production is constant because there are no panels connected. I see the voltage, 28 volt. That looks for me okay. So now you can tell me, okay, on my side it's working. So you should, Jeremy, you should tell me, okay, it's already working. Okay. So it's great. It's for you to test it, but please don't leave the site before Meir or me tell you, okay, I'm seeing also the result. Okay. By default, also, once we finish the installation, we change the transmission rate to send. We change the unit to send data every hour. So once you are on site, you maybe want to change the transmission rate to be every 2 minutes to check live. Okay, I changed something. Is it working? You don't want to wait the next hour to see if it's working. Okay, that's why also it's important that we will be involved, because you don't have a way, only us can change the transmission rate. I can stop sharing. That's it. Thank you very much. I will answer now to some questions if you have. What to do in place with weak signal, no signal at all. If no signal at all or weak signal, we have two solutions currently. One is the booster antenna, and the booster antenna to move it, to put it outside, to put at the location where the less interference, we will have the less interference as possible. And the second option is a local SIM card. Okay, again, if you are on a site that you on your smartphone, you see you have signal, we expect at least that one of the local SIM card will work. Okay, so that's the two options we have. If you are inside an area where there is no network, even you don't have, that's an issue that we didn't yet solve. If you have any question, or if you want to share also any experience that some of you also encountered, maybe you can small tip that I didn't share.
Hi, Jeremy.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, I just want to ask, the application, does it need like a certain amount of powerful laptop, or just any basic laptop will be able to run those programs when connecting to the modem?
I guess any laptop relatively recent, meaning from the last 5 years, from Windows 7, I will say, from Windows 7 and above. If it has Windows 7, most of the chances that it will be able to run the program. There are just the main applications that you will need to run is Putty, and it's not a Navy software. All the rest is just to have other capability in case. Okay, if you have any issue, or if you need to also purchase a new laptop for it, you can ask me, or you can tell me I will use this laptop before starting configure it, and I will tell you, okay, it's you can start installing.
Hi, James.
Hi.
Yeah, just a suggestion on the user interface of the, let's say, for Tingy. We have energy production, we have energy battery bodies, we have energy consumption. But then on the readings, is it possible to add some like standard units so that when maybe someone, a layman, just use the page, so that it is a what? These what hours?
Okay, it's a good remark. Again, for basically what I show you on the application, you saw when was the last reading and what is the value, but the value sometimes need to be converted in order to be proper read. So for example, the voltage or the watt hour, what we read is a counter, for example. So we'll see the value of the counter. I will see how it can be more clear, like at least you can see watt, but yeah, we will have the unit somewhere for you to understand, to better understand what you see. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope it was clear. And always here to assist. I know it's not easy process, so I'm always here to assist in any suggestion. And for the one who looked at it for the first time, I have to say that for the one who tried did it great. It's very hard at the beginning, but once you get it, it's a very straightforward, step by step. So I look at Salum, I look at Denis, I look at Robert and Moses. They did a great job until now.
Yeah, so before you go,
yes.
I would like also to ask about the water unit. We also have some issues to do with network and the like in the water units. But
So-
we are unable to do whatever we are doing here. Is there anything that is happening for us to do to deal with this water model?
So water monitoring, actually, you will have now on the afternoon. We will have a session, so you can raise this point. That's why here the energy box is an advantage and disadvantage for us, meaning it's advantage that we can understand what is the issue and solve it, even if it's more or less hard with the laptop. With the water monitoring, we don't have yet this capability with the laptop to connect. We tried a bit, but we didn't succeed because we buy it from an external provider. So we are still searching for the best solution when it happens, but if you can raise this problem with water monitoring, and maybe Meir will be able to say more. Thank you very much, guys. You are great, and wishing us a good year and success.
Okay, you mute, I will unmute 1 second. Okay. Okay, thank you, Jeremy. He's sitting right here, and we are all at the same